どうして警察があの殺しのことを感づいたかわかる？
いや、わかるわけないだろ
う。Nobody saw her killing them. Nobody saw us burying the corpses. We buried them deep in the mountains, and we camouflaged the spot perfectly. Plus, Mion moved them to a secret place afterwards. Maybe we should tell Rena that Mion placed them in a secret place? So it's impossible that the corpses would be found.
今日の夕方ね。私、あの二人の死体を埋めた場所に戻ったの。そしたら、どうだったと思う？
That didn't sound good. Of course, Rena has no idea that Mion took care of the corpses. She'd think the corpses were still buried there.
なかったの。死体が。誰かが掘り返して死体を持ち去った。
いや、レナ。それ、
あんな場所、誰かが偶然掘り返すわけもない。それに、あの場所は私が決めた。だからあの場所に埋まっていることは、あの場に居合わせた人間しか知らない。
True enough.
そうだ。だからそれは。
誰がやったかは分かってる。みーちゃんだよ。私が警察と結託することがないよう、保険が欲しかったに違いない。
Blech.
そのザキ家に探させるだけじゃなく、警察にも探させるとはね。連中もなりふり構ってられないってことか。
It is true that Mion did it, but not for the reasons that you think.
ミオンがそんなことするわけねえだろ。
したんだよ。みーちゃんが私を撃った。
Nah, she did not.
いや、しねえな。ミオンも俺たちも、みんな仲間だぞ。たとえ世界が全部敵になったとしたって、仲間は最後まで味方なんだ。だからミオンがレナを売ることなんて、海水が全部蒸発するような天変地異があったって、絶対にありえない。
みーちゃんの肩をどうして持つの？
逆だろ。なんでミオンをそこまで疑うんだよ。
そんなのは決まってるでしょ。ミオさんの暴いた致命的な事実は狂信者たちの偉大な計画の実現。
黙れ黙れ。ちょっと言葉がきつかったな。いいか、あの死体がなくなっていたのは確かにミオンが掘り返したからだ。
やっぱりそうじゃない。
終わりまで聞けよ。いいか、ミオンが死体を掘り返したのはあの埋めた場所が安全じゃないことが分かったからなんだ。営林署がこの夏あの辺り一帯を伐採するって計画を立ててたことが後に分かったんだよ。だからミオンはレナを守るために死体を掘り返してくれたんだよ。
Rena laughed at me like I was stupid or something. And I could tell she didn't understand anything I was saying. It is the truth.
そんなのみーちゃんの口から出まかせに決まってるでしょ。圭一くんの前ではいい子ぶりたいあの子の汚いやり方だって。
あのな、じゃあどうすりゃよかったんだよ。今年の夏に営林署が見つけちまうかもしれないと知ってて放置しとくのかよ。そんなことできるわけねえだろ。
その営林署の伐採計画というのがそもそもみーちゃんの作り話だってどうしてわからないのかな。
わからねえのはレナの方だろ。
After I yelled at her, she gave me an icy look. She stared into my eyes, as if trying to find out what I came here for.
俺はレナの目を覚ましに来たんだ。お前は高野さんのスクラップ帳のせいでとんでもない狂った夢に取りつかれてる。最初のうちは面白い話だと思ってたが、そろそろシャレにならないと思い始めた。お前は今ちょっとした病気なんだよ。
ああ、理科もどきにも病気だって言われたっけね。確かに内脇病はもう始まってるし。
ああ、 もう違うんだ違うんだ。とにかく俺の話を聞け。しばらくの間横になってじっくりと休まねえか。本当はミオンの家にかくまってもらった方が安全なんだ。警察からもかくまえるしな。でもそれでもミオンが信用できないってんなら俺の家でもいい。とにかくこんな休めない場所で縮こまってだって心にいいわけがないんだ。まずは俺の家に行こ
う。Yeah, I think that would be the best. I mean, there is literally no other place that you can hide other than Keiichi's house.
そして冷たい飲み物でも飲みながらちょいと熱を冷ましてみないか。そうすりゃレナもすぐに気づくさ。
何を言ってるのケイイチ君。私がおかしくなってるって言いたいの？おかしいのはお前たちの方なんだ。お前たちは寄生虫に乗っ取られて知らず知らずのうちに奴らに操られているだけ。ケイイチ君も傍観者のつもりでいるけど実は被害者の一人なんだよ。
So are you.
それに気づけないのが彼らの狡猾なところ。それを私は責めない。私がきっとケイイチ君たちを救ってあげるから、今は私を信じていて。
おかしいのはお前たちの方って。じゃあレナは村が丸ごとおかしくて自分だけが正しいっていうのかよ。
Hinamizawaだけじゃないかもしれないね。もはや奴らの魔種は獅子骨市全域、あるいは県内全域にまで及んでいるかもしれない。でも私だけは正しいの。ミオさんのスクラップのおかげでそれに気づけた。ケイイチ君だって気づけたんじゃなかったっけ？
待てよレナ。自分以外世界中が全ておかしいって。それってつまりさ、おかしいのは自分だけなんだよ。世界は最初から何も変わってねえし、おかしくもなんともない。ましてやレナの敵でもなんでもない。自分だけが正しくて世界が全部敵なんてことはありえないんだよ。それはつまり自分だけが敵ってことなんだよ。
かわいそうなケイイチ君。でも仕方がないよ。ミオさんの真実は誰もが受け入れられるものではない。ミオさん自身、この内容が本当に真実かまだ測りかねていた節があったしね。だからケイイチ君が受け入れられないことを私は理解できる。だからそんなケイイチ君を救うために私は頑張るよ。頑張って戦って必ずケイイチ君たちを支配している奴らをやっつけてやるから。
Rena, that's stupid. That's just idiotic. You feel sorry for me? You're stupid. Why don't you understand? Why do you still believe a crazy, stupid story like this? I'm just here witnessing this because I feel like in the middle right over here. Like, I believe the scrapbooks, but I do think that Rena is going a little too far with this. You need to work together with the rest of your friends here, Rena. You're just interpreting everything to suit your convenience.
ミオさんもリカちゃんも、そして今や私も、もうスペアが用意されてるの。そして私が消されるのと同時に入れ替わることになっている。
はぁ？スペア？お前本気で何を言ってるんだ？
もういいや。ケイイチ君には真実を教えてあげよう。私がケイイチ君に話してない本当の真実。実はね、寄生虫の正体は宇宙人なの。
宇宙人？
Okay. I do think that at this point you need some rest, Rena. Let's just go home.
お社様の正体ももちろん宇宙人。天から降臨する際の描写は世界各地に散らばる宇宙人説と合致するの。
So that's what you've been thinking all this time. The days and the its and all that. It's the aliens.
偉大な文明が起こるとき、偉人は必ず宇宙から現れる。彼らは宇宙から優れた英知を持って地球を訪れ、いつまでも未熟な地球人類の進化を促そうと。
Hey, wait just a minute. You must be kidding, right, Arena? The parasite theory was interesting, but aliens? Come on, that's just nonsense. But Rena believes this theory so seriously. She feels sorry for me because I can't accept it.
奴らは人体規制を通じてコミュニティを支配してきた。だが時折勘のいい人間が生まれ、その支配の実態を暴こうとした。彼らはそれを取り除き、コミュニティを維持するために様々な拉致を行ったの。そして、時には金属片を埋め込みそのコントロールを得たり、あるいは外見だけを共有した別の存在と入れ替えることによって支配を続け。
Do they shove these metals up their butthole as well?
そいつらは、ミオさんのコピーを生み、私のコピーを生んだ。リカちゃんのコピーもさっき来たんだよ。
Yeah. Rika sure doesn't help whatsoever here. With that otherworldly behavior that she keeps displaying as Ben Castell, and sure doesn't help the situation. You would think of such an entity as an alien.
そいつと話をしてみた。そいつは宇宙から来た存在であることを認めたよ。そして破滅の日が近いことを告白し、私にあがけるものならあがけと嘲笑った。私は戦うよ。人類を奴らの家畜になどしてたまるか。私は絶対に。
You're so stupid. I stepped towards Rena and slapped her in the face. I was hoping it would return her to sanity.
目を覚ませレナ、もう忘れたか。まさにこの場所だ。それもほんの数日前だ。俺たち仲間たちはこの場所で全員で手を取り合ったよな。そして仲間は家族同然だって認め合ったよな。
When I played with her wrist, she didn't interrupt, so I continued.
お前の言う宇宙人が地球を侵略してるって話を、お前たとえ世界中が信じなくても俺は信じてやる。俺はお前の仲間で一番最初の味方だからだ。でもならお前も聞いてくれ。仲間で味方の俺の言葉を聞いてくれ。あの高野さんのスクラップ帳はでっち上げのインチキなんだよ。本当さ、高野さんはオカルトマニアなんだ。Hinamizawaの古い歴史をいろいろに解釈して遊んで、陳説を書き上げては人に読ませて回っているだけなんだ。だから寄生虫がどうのこうのという説以外にも UFO がどうこうとか地底人がどうこうなんていうとんでもないのまでたくさんあるんだ。だからレナが読んだスクラップ帳は高野さん自慢の最新作でしかないんだよ。ほら、あの人って人をからかうみたいなところがあるだろう。レナが真面目に話を聞いてくれるもんだから面白がってとんでもない話を吹き込んだだけなんだよ。
単なる創作ならミオさんはどうして殺されたの？しかも検視結果では死後24時間のはずなのに、どうして祭りの夜に歩いていたの？
Fake body. She faked her death.
富武さんの死因は？ 園崎家は？ひなみざわの伝説は？お社様は？リカちゃんは？全部創作？世界中が私たちを騙すために嘘をついているって、そういうの？
何でもかんでも無理につなげて解釈するな。古代妄想の典型的な症例じゃねえかよ。とにかく難しく考えるな。レナはちょっと疲れてるだけなんだ。だから少し休もう。俺はレナにくつろげる部屋と布団、食事を提供するだけだ。食事が信用できないなら自前で好きにしてくれたっていい。とにかく俺の言うことを今だけでいいから信じてほしいんだ。
私の言っている話の方が筋も通っているし、証拠も根拠もたくさんある。なのに圭一君は自分を信じてくれの一点張り。どっちが正しいかなんて明白でしょ？
ああ、明白だな。俺だ。俺が正しい。
よくそんなことを言い切れるね。
ああ、そんなのは簡単さ。俺がレナの仲間だからだ。仲間は絶対に裏切らない。仲間を絶対に助ける。だから世界中が俺を正しくないと言っても、今だけは俺を信じろ。俺がお前の仲間だからなんだ。
I heard a thud when I dropped the hatchet. Oh, she staggered, holding her head in her hands. She was muttering something. It looked like she was asking herself questions. He wants me to trust him, but he has no evidence to prove he's right. He's being absurd. Or maybe he's right, and I'm wrong. Am I really just misunderstanding everything? It would be wonderful if that was true. I wish I was wrong so many times. I wish Neil-san's scrapbooks are nothing but a bunch of stories, and the parasite doesn't exist. Some coincidences happened to connect together, and I interpreted them in the wrong way. I really wish that was the case. Don't give up, Renaryugu. Be cool, Renaryugu. This guy has poison in his words. He's trying to take advantage of my weakness. Everything is too obvious not to believe. It's obvious that the aliens have been trying to invade the Earth, using this village as their base ever since it was called Unigafuchi. Keiichi-kun is a victim who is being controlled by them. He's just a victim. But when he grabbed my wrist really hard on that day, I could tell his intentions were true. I still remember the strength of his grip on my wrist. He tried to save me, his friend. I got lost in this crazy delusional maze many times. I prayed over and over that somebody would help me. And now, my prayers are answered, and Keiichi-kun is reaching for my hand again. But don't forget, Renaryugu. This guy says he's your friend, but he hasn't told you everything about himself. Don't you remember? Oishi-san told you about it. He told me about what he found out. I couldn't trust my friends, so Oishi checked on everybody, including Keiichi-kun. That's why I know about what he did before he moved here. He did what? He looks like he's a good guy on the outside, but he's crazy on the inside. I can't trust him. I shouldn't trust him. So what? I don't care who he was before he moved here. I did many bad things in Big Babaraki too. I did many unforgivable things. I hurt my friends really badly, broke the windows of the school, and was suspended. I was a very bad girl. Okay, well, this is the first time I'm hearing that Keiichi did something bad. Is it true? Did he treat me differently because of that? No, he didn't. Renaryugu is Renaryugu. He'll forgive me because it was Renaryugu who did all those bad things in Ibaraki. won't forgive me. I should know better. Keiichi Mayabara believes that I'm a kind and modest girl because he doesn't know Reina. If he found out about Reina, what would he do? He won't do anything. He won't be scared of me. Reina is Reina. Reina is a different girl. The same goes with Keiichi-kun. I don't care who he was before he moved here. We're even.
大丈夫かレナ。
触るな。汚らわしい。
Reina knocked my hand aside when I reached for her.
さっきから聞いていれば仲間とやかましい。仲間だから信じろ？仲間だから世界中すべてより正しいだと？それこそ妄言じゃないか。
Jesus Christ.
なんと言われたって俺はお前の仲間だ。だから絶対にお前のためになることを言っている。疑うな。絶対に俺が正しい。
へえ、じゃあ聞いてもいい？
あ、何でも聞け。
Alright.
仲間ってのは隠し事なんてないんだよね。
当然だ。隠し事なんかしない。
嘘だよ。
嘘なんかつかない。
嘘だ
何がおかしいよ。
圭一くん、隠し通せてるつもりなんだ。
Keep what secret?
私、知ってるんだよ。圭一くんが引っ越してくる直前にどういうことしてたか。知ってるんだよ。
I felt as if my entire body was covered in frosty needles. My body and mind froze all of a sudden. I don't believe this. I don't believe this. How come she knows about that? Well, what is it?
大石さんに調べてもらったんだよ。みんなのこと。そしたら圭一くん、引っ越しの前はとんでもない人だったんだよね。
やめろ。あれは違うんだ。
ずいぶん悪いことしてたみたいだね。さとこちゃんとリカちゃんにも話しておかないとね。こんな危ない人が身近にいたなんて信じられないよ。
Eh?
違う。それはたまたまなんだ。
Okay, so Keiichi was a big-time bully. Okay.
児童連続襲撃事件。すごい。ひなみざわ村連続開始事件に負けないくらいインパクトあるよ。
違うんだよ。あれは
何がどう違うの？数週間の間に人気のないところを歩く小さな子供ばかりを狙って通りがかりにモデルガンで撃ちつける恐ろしい事件だった。市内一帯は一時期騒然。PTA が交差点ごとに立ち集団下校にもなったんだってね。目に当たって大怪我した子もいたんでしょ。幸い後遺症にはならなかったそうだけど。モデルガンなんて武器を持ちながらそれでも小さな子しか狙わないいやらしさ。そんなことして何が楽しかったの？でも楽しかったからずっと続けてたんだよね。そのくせ途中で両親の呵責に耐えられなくなってご両親と一緒に自首。責任取るのもご両親と一緒じゃないとダメなわけ？少年法って親切よね。被害者にも犯人の名前は公開されないし。お父さんが大金持ちだったから示談金をたくさん積んでくれたんだよね。それで大ごとにしない約束を取り付けてまったりとしばらくは保護観察。それでほとぼりが冷めた頃合いに お金に任せて遠方へ引っ越しして全部チャラ。いいね、お金持ちは。
違うんだ。違うんだ。
そんなこと、どうして今まで黙ってたの？前の学校ではずっと勉強漬けだった？どうしてそんな嘘をつくの？
ごめん。嘘ってわけじゃ。
I mean, not like it's an easy topic to bring up in the first place. I mean, it's not like you girls have told us like everything about yourselves either. About your previous experiences at schools, breaking windows and all that. But we are learning about each other right now.
仲間ってのは隠し事なんかなしでしょ？そうでしょ？じゃあお前は仲間じゃない。
The blades of her words hit hard, and they made my eyes bleed. The blood was clear, and it tasted salty.
私も過去の事件からお前が怪しいと思ってる。それを隠しきれてると思わないで。
I remember how deeply I regretted it. I couldn't regret enough. I wanted to forget it, but I couldn't. I made a stupid mistake. Why? Why does she have to bring it up right now? I apologized and accepted everything, and I moved here to put it behind me. I wanted to have a fresh start in Hinamizawa. I swore to myself to live a clean life from then on. Everything is ruined now. I'll be a criminal, no matter where I go. I was stressed out with my exam studies. I was frustrated. I randomly shot people. I didn't care if it was girls or kids. Why did I do something so stupid? There was no reason. I had no reason to do that. I just wanted to get someone's attention. I didn't have the courage to tell my parents that I didn't want to study. I just wanted somebody to scold me, so I used a childish way to get attention. I regret what I did. I swear I'll never do something that stupid again. If I do it again, they can send me to a chair. If there was something I could do to be completely forgiven, I'd do it, no matter what it was. But no matter how deeply I regretted it, and no matter how long I atoned for my sin, I'll never be forgiven. That's why I wanted to sweep the whole thing under the carpet and have a fresh start. I have nothing to say if somebody tells me that forgetting my sin is an act of cowardice. Sins are sins. You can't just get rid of them. You have to carry them for the rest of your life. I know that's the fate of a sinner. If you don't want to live like that, don't be a sinner. I understand that logic too. But then, how are sinners supposed to live?
とにかくお前は仲間じゃない。仲間じゃないやつの指図は受ける言われはない。私のことは当分放っておいてもらう。いいね。
I didn't notice until she spoke that I was on my knees, hanging my head. Rena picked up the hatchet she dropped earlier. I wanted her to hit my head with it. Yeah, that's right. If anything's going to be torn apart, I'd rather it be my body. Compared to the pain of my heart being torn to shreds, I'd rather she cut my head off. I believed it. I still believe it. I still believe it right at this moment. I believe that I'm their friend. But in fact, I'm starting to become aware of it. I want to believe I'm their friend, because I don't want to accept my past. I'm trying to tell myself that. But I feel stupid, crying like this. My face is all messy with tears. I was never their friend. You still are, Keiichi. I'm a sinner, and I hid my past from them. I hid it because I was scared. I told her that friends don't hide anything from one another, and I hid my past from them. I hid my sin from them. My past has nothing to do with how I live my life here. If I ever attacked a kid in this village just because I was frustrated, I wouldn't mind it if they killed me and cut me into pieces. But I'll never do anything like that again. I just want to live normally. What I did before I moved here has nothing to do with my life now. Yeah, basically. For instance, Rena moved here too. I wouldn't change the way I see her, even if I found out she did something bad before she moved here. Right? I wouldn't, would I? Even if Rena beat some of their friends, or broke all the windows of our school, I wouldn't care. Because it happened in Ibaraki. She didn't do that in Hinamizawa. Rena is Rena. She's my best friend. That's why I wouldn't see her differently, even if I found out about her past. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. I'd keep a distance from her if I found out she really did such a thing. Well, you know, there's a difference between just straight up telling your darkest secrets like from day one versus telling them later. If you were to say that like earlier, I don't think that you would have that many friends to begin with. But now, you have bonded with your friends, Keiichi. So even despite this, the friendship is still gonna go strong, I believe. I'd be scared of her. I wouldn't try to listen to her. Why? It's just a rumor. Why would I be scared of her? She's my best friend. If I was in her situation, would I reject her just like she did? So, Reina's rejection of me was completely natural. Then, what am I supposed to do? I was the only one crying. Reina wasn't crying. She looked at me as if she was looking at something dirty. After giving me a nasty look, she disappeared into the darkness. Reina didn't forgive me. There was nothing I could do to atone for my sin but to keep crying, still down on my knees. Oh man. Well, that surely did not turn out well at all. And now she's gone again. Oh. Alright, I guess it's time for us to see some of Keiichi's backstory a little bit more. I don't remember how many years ago it was. There was this beautiful village surrounded by nature, but the village was going to be submerged in water because of a new dam project, and the villagers protested against it en masse. They held a sightseeing tour so people from other places could enjoy the local beauty. I joined the tour out of simple curiosity. I wanted to take a look at the nature that might sink under the water. But when I got there, the place took my breath away. The air was so clean and clear, and the landscape was beautiful beyond words. Since then, I was hooked on the inspiring nature of the place. I fell in love with the village so much that I was very glad when I heard that the dam project was cancelled. That village is where I'm building our new house. When I visited there, I found a beautiful field of wildflowers. I saw 2 cute kids playing in that field, and both of them were very beautiful, with long straight hair. They were probably neighbors or best friends. I still remember how they looked. One of them had a very beautiful face with a clear-cut profile for her age, and the other had a very pretty innocent look. I'm sure both of them will grow up into fine, beautiful ladies in the future. They were running around in the field like they were dancing. I asked them if the field was their playground. They said they were playing in hopes that newcomers would move to the village. Then I saw signs saying, "Lot for sale." That was when I began to think that it might be a great place to live. There was nothing here, and things are a bit inconvenient compared to the life in the city. But I sincerely believe this was the best place for us to start a new life together as a family. A lot of things happened back in the city, but the past is the past. It's best that we move on. We learn from our mistakes, and I hope we can start a new, more ideal life in this village. Keiichi, I hope you'll grow to love it here as much as I do. You do? I'm happy to hear that. I'm also happy that we've been doing a lot better as a family since we moved here. Back in the city, we were far from close. So, I'm truly happy that we're able to start from scratch. Now that I come to think about it, I never had a chance to have a conversation with you like this before. Oh, Keiichi, do you know any two beautiful girls with long straight hair in your school? I think they're a lot younger than you. Oh, you know two young beautiful girls, but one has a short hair, huh? I don't think they're the ones I saw. You want to know why I asked? Oh, I just wanted to ask them to be models for our portraits. I was thinking about making them wear cute costumes. Basically, I just wanted to see them again, for artistic reasons. So, if you happen to see them, let your dad know, okay? Promise me, okay? Cough, cough. Okay. Sure thing. I guess. At lunchtime the next day, everybody in class was talking about Rena's disappearance. We were all worried about her safety, but I kept a safe distance from everybody else.
レナはどこに行っちゃったんだろうね。鬼隠しにあったなんていい加減なことを言ってる連中もいるよ。まったく。
圭一さん、今日は元気がありませんでしたよ。みー。
俺は、
I couldn't sleep at all last night because of what Rena told me. Yeah, friends don't keep secrets from one another. That sentence bit into my heart, and I couldn't sleep because of the pain.
ミオ、サトコもリカちゃんも、話しておきたいことがある。
レナに関すること？
いや、そうじゃない。俺自身についてのことなんだ。
I decided to tell them about it, because they were my friends. But I didn't know what I was expecting to change by doing so. They might despise me. Is there any benefit in telling them? I get to think that they're not gonna despise you for that, Keiichi. I mean, come on. No, there wasn't. I knew that for sure. But I still wanted to tell them about it, just because I thought it would help heal the pain I was feeling.
圭一さんのことですの？
ああ、ちょっと真面目な話なんだ。聞いてほしい。俺が引っ越してくる前のことなんだ。当時の俺は勉強しか脳のないやつだった。
I learned the tricks of the game called studying at my cram school. I enjoyed the sense of superiority I felt by getting good grades. I kept studying just because I wanted to look down on the other students. When my grades got better, my parents got happier, and my teachers praised me. I felt good. It was fun to look down on the students who were good at running, dodgeball, or swimming. That was the only reason I kept studying. Before I knew it, not only was I at the top of my class, I was at the top of my school. So, I started to think I was the most important student there. I looked down on the kids who were playing in the schoolyard during lunch break. I enjoyed feeling a sense of superiority to them in my insignificance. Okay, the more I studied, the better everybody expected me to do. They started to place high hopes on me. They expected me to go to the best school in Japan. I flattered myself in thinking I deserved to go to that school as well. But the fun went out of looking down on people, while the burden of studying didn't change a bit. My classmates stopped admiring my cleverness after a while, and my teachers started to push me to study more. All of a sudden, the fun had gone out of it. To begin with, I didn't even like to study. I had average reflexes. I was average in a fight. I was an average boy with nothing that really drew attention. So when I found something that I could use to get that attention, I jumped on it. He happened to be studying for me, but if he was riding on a unicycle or juggling, I would have done that too. All for the sake of attention, I guess, it seems. Not only in the bullying, but in the studying too. When I realized I didn't enjoy studying anymore, it got very boring. I was just a little boy who wanted to be praised when I did something I did. I was just a little boy who wanted to be praised when I did something better than anybody else. I finished all my summer homework because my parents praised me for it. I took charge of cleaning duties at school because my teachers praised me for it. So when they stopped praising me for what I did, I began to feel as though my life had no meaning. Oof. You know, I feel that. I definitely feel that. My parents used to give me all an allowance that was proportional to how good my grades were. So I used to get a substantial amount of money for my age. I don't know if I had a natural interest in violence, or if I was looking for it because of my frustration at the time. I took an interest in BB guns. At first, I shot at cardboard boxes. It was fun. Being violent at pieces of cardboard relieved a lot of stress. Nobody blamed me for doing that. But soon, I started wanting to do something I should never have done. On the box that my BB gun came in was a warning label that read, "Do not shoot at people." And that was when I thought about doing just that. Why did I do something I shouldn't have? Yes, I was just immature. I wasn't interested in studying anymore, but I forced myself to do so anyway. My parents forced me to go to several cram schools. I was mad at them for that. I should have told them I didn't want to study anymore, but I didn't have the courage to do that. So I used my frustration as an excuse to do something cowardly. I shot at kids who were younger than I was with my BB gun. It gave me such a thrill. It felt so good to do something bad when I was so overcome with study. Needless to say, I had no personal grudge against the kids I shot. As long as the kids passed through a deserted street, they met the requirements to become my target. I didn't mean to hurt them. I shot at them once or twice from a distance. That was all I wanted to do. But sometimes they didn't react at all because the BBs hit a thicker part of their coats or something. I didn't like that, so I started to shoot until they noticed they were being hit. It inevitably escalated into a barrage of gunfire. I study a lot. I'm doing something good, so I deserve to do something bad to balance out the good thing I'm doing. That was the unbelievably selfish excuse I made. I thought I had a right to do things like that, because I was suffering myself. I thought people who weren't suffering like I was deserved to be shot at and to get hurt a little bit. I was so selfish, so arrogant, so immature. I was disgusted with myself. If I could have met myself at that time, I would have given myself a punch in the face so hard that I'd knock out all my teeth. They started to call it a series of attacks on school children. The principal of my school held a morning assembly to inform everyone about the case and to warn them to be careful when playing outside. I was laughing sneakily. The PTA issued a letter of warning and advice to take the safest way to and from school. Parents took turns watching kids when they walked between home and school in groups. The more serious it got, the more it reminded me of the excitement I first felt when my grades started going up. I was absorbed in that game I was playing. I didn't think that I'd get caught someday. I didn't think to stop doing it either. One day, I found a little girl who was walking down a narrow dark street, all alone. She was a very small girl. I don't know if she was on her way to her friend's house, or if she was running an errand. I didn't care which. It was careless of her to go out alone. The school had warned her not to, so it was her fault. Just like always, I made a selfish excuse and attacked her. You know, I'm just gonna stop right over here and comment on this. Wouldn't it be funny if that one girl that Keiichi attacked right here would be Rena? What a twist of fate right here. Some of the shots hit her in the back. She noticed she was attacked by somebody. She turned around. It was a natural reaction. Because if so, that would actually make it worse for Rena, since she would more than likely also remember that if she learned that it was Keiichi who did that. At that time, I didn't hesitate to rain hell upon her. So when she turned around, I was still shooting at her. Usually when I shot at a kid, she cried in pain and ran away. But this girl was different. She threshed around in excruciating pain, holding one of her eyes. When I saw her doing that, I realized what had happened right away. The BB had hit her in the eye. Until that moment, I didn't think about what would happen when a pellet that could easily go through a cardboard box hit an eyeball. Anyway, the girl howled in pain, and for the first time, I realized I had done something horrible. She saw me, so I couldn't take her to a hospital. I couldn't do anything about it, so I left her there while she was still screaming in pain. I wondered if she was okay, and I worried that she had lost her eye. I kept thinking about her. I didn't really feel like eating that day. I went to the bookshelf in our living room, snuck a medical book to my room, and studied the structure of the human eye. It was too late to make a difference, but I studied what kind of injuries would make a person lose their vision. I knew it wouldn't make the sin I committed weigh any less, even if I found out that she would lose her sight. I couldn't sleep that night, and I suffered from a high fever. It wasn't my parents, my teacher, or the police who first punished me for what I did. It was my own body. Before dawn, I woke my parents up and confessed to my sin. They were shocked at first, but it seemed like they understood the situation quickly due to my recent disembodied but it seemed like they understood the situation quickly due to my recent disobedient behavior and my interest in BB guns. My mom cried hysterically. My dad slapped me in the face till it swelled up. Before the sun came up, I turned myself into the police, accompanied by my parents. Satoko stared at me with a stunned expression. I deserved to receive that kind of look. What I did was very wrong, and I needed to accept that.
それ、本当ですの？
ああ、本当だ。今まで隠していて悪かった。
なんでそんなことを今頃になってわざわざ言おうと思ったわけ？
I mean, Satoko would definitely feel a specific way here, given that she herself has done quite a lot of pranking before, for the sake of attention too. Whereas the rest of the kids, like Rika, Mion, and Rena, they were decently good girls. Satoko is in similar fashion to Keiichi, who had done a lot of bad things in the past, like pranks and stuff like that. Not to the point of shooting people with BB guns. Like for Satoko, that is, I hope. Mion asked me. Rika-chan nodded in agreement.
本音から言うとさ、ケイちゃんどうしたのって感じかね。
まあ、そりゃそうだよな。
違うよ。そんなことわざわざ言い出す必要あったのかなってね。
いや、隠し事をするなんて仲間じゃないよな。俺はみんなのことを仲間だと思ってる。だからもう隠してなんかいられなかったんだ。
圭一はそれを僕たちに話して何を期待しているのですか？
期待なんて別にないよ。俺はただ
許しが欲しくても僕にはあげられないのです。圭一が怪我をさせた人たちにしかそれは与えられませんのです。だから僕たちにそれを話しても何の期待にも応えられないのですよ。リカの言う通りですわね。潔いのは認めますけれど、そんなことを私たちに打ち明けてどうしたいって言うんですの？
どうしたいってことはないよ。ただ仲間に隠し事は。
My friends looked annoyed by the sudden confession of my past. I took it as bitter medicine. I got what I deserved.
ケイちゃんさ、ちょいとここで質問なんだけどさ、仲間に隠し事ってしたらいけないわけ？
え？
ケイちゃんの論法だと隠し事をしないのが仲間みたいな話だけどさ、おじさんはそんなの嫌だね。
僕も嫌です。
Mione and Rika-chan obviously disagreed with my statement. Satoko nodded, following suit.
言いたくないことを言わないで何が悪いわけ？人には話したくないことや辛いこと、悲しいこと、失敗したことや思い出したくないことがたくさんある。それを全部打ち明けないと仲間と呼べないんなら、私はそんな仲間はいらないね。
でもそれじゃあ。
圭一、打ち明けなくていいことと打ち明けなくてはならないことは違いますのです。罪は許しを得るために打ち明けなくてはならない。でも打ち明けて許された罪はもう打ち明ける必要はないのですよ。そうですわね。だって圭一さんはちゃんとおまわりさんのところに行って怒られてきたんでございましょう。 それで償いをして許してもらえたなら、それで圭一さんの罪はおしまいですわよ。
自首して、その結果を受け入れたなら、それでケイちゃんのお務めは終わりだよ。もちろん、ケイちゃんが罪の十字架を背負い続けることはとても大切なこと。二度と過ちを繰り返さないよう、常に胸に刻み続けるのは正しいことだよ。でもね、それはケイちゃんが自戒することであって、打ち明けなくちゃいけないことではない。
そうですわよ。過去の恥ずかしい話なんかは、私も内緒にしたいことがたくさんございましたよ。聡子は特にいっぱいいっぱいありますのです。私だけじゃございませんのよ。リカもですわよ。リカもですわよ。みー。
Satoko and Rika-chan fooled around with each other like they always did. Nyon looked at them and then looked back at me. It is something that I brought up back at the construction site when all of you were there, about keeping secrets from one another, like keeping the secrets to ourselves or telling every secret to one another. So what I'm gathering out of this is that you three, specifically, you do believe that some secrets shouldn't be told, that it's not necessary that we have to tell every single secret to our friends in order for us to get to know each other. Because, like, that is the core reasoning, I believe. Personally, I believe that for telling secrets, for the sake of bonding even more with the friends that we have. You tell your friend, like your new friend, about you, like general stuff, but once you got to know each other, like after a while, then the next supposed logical step would be to tell about your secrets, because you feel like you trust them. And it feels like if you were to tell them secrets about yourself that you normally wouldn't tell others, it will lead to a friendship bond that is even stronger. That would be like one of the core reasons why people would have the urge to tell secrets about themselves. That's what I believe is the case.
今、聡子はとてもいいことを言ったと思う。ケイちゃんにはどの部分かわかる？
過去の話は内緒にしたいというところか？
違う。その次の部分。誰にだってあるってところだよ。無菌室の試験管の中で育った人間でもない限り、人の人生は試行錯誤の繰り返しだと思う。いいことも悪いことも、いろいろなことを繰り返して成長して、それで最後の最後に素晴らしい人間になれればいいんじゃない？いいことも悪いことも、すべてとても大切な経験なんだと思う。それは誰でも同じで、ケイちゃんだけじゃない。いや、クラスの全員にも当てはまることなんだよ。
例えば、みーはもっと昔は札付きの悪猫さんだったのですよ。にゃーにゃー。
まあ本当はあんまり言いたかないんだけどね。私から見ればモデルガンで闇討ちなんてかわいいもんだって。
I mean, you used to throw rocks.
私なんかレンガとか投げつけてたよ。いやほんと。
Yeah.
警察に何度お世話になったことやら。ダム戦争の最中はちょっとした留置場常連だったよ。いや本当に。
でも、昔のことなのですよ。そしてそれを圭一に言う必要はないのです。仲間であってもなのです。
仲間であっても？
私だってとても言えないような苦い過ちや罪がいくつもあります。 でも言わないのは言っても仕方がないからですわ。
言って楽になるなら私たちは聞くよ。でもね、仲間だから言わなければならないなんてルールはない。
Yeah. I guess that is the big difference.
むしろ仲間なら言いたくない過去を察してあえて聞かないのが本当の仲間なんじゃない？
So basically, it goes down to the topic coming in a natural way instead of, oh, I'm telling you this because we are friends. So I decided, hey, why might as well just share you this information? No, it would be something that would come natural, or when you feel like you can't just hold it in anymore. Like when it comes to struggles, that is. Or when it comes to non-struggles, it'll be just because it just came up.
それはそうだけど。
ケイちゃんが打ち明けて楽になったならそれでいいよ。私たちは今日の話をすぐにでも忘れる。それに今日の話を聞いたからケイちゃんとの接し方を変えるようなこともない。
圭一が前の町でしたことなんて今の圭一と何の関係もないのです。今の圭一が僕たちにとってかけがえのない仲間であるのなら、前の町のことなんか僕は知りたくないのですよ。理科の言う通りでございますわ。逆に前の町でどんなに善行を積もうともこちらに来て嫌な人だったなら前の町の善行なんかしたことじゃありませんわね。
ってことはさ、ケイちゃん、前の町での十字架はケイちゃんが密かに胸に秘めることであって、こっちでわざわざ口にする必要なんてないんじゃない？いや、仮に口にしてもだ。それでケイちゃんの見方を変える程度のやつだったら、私はそいつの方を見下げるね。
過去が何だろうと今が素晴らしい人間であるならばどうして恥じることがございますの？もし過去の過ちを一生取り戻せなかったら私たちは何のために生き続けますの？聡子は過去にとても甘えん坊さんでした。それを後悔して今はこんなにも元気で頑張っていますのです。だから僕は今の聡子はとても素晴らしいと思いますです。昔どうだったかなんて僕は興味ないのです。理科。
ケイちゃんだってどうよ。例えば私が留置場常連の札付きだとしたら、私への見方を変える？
Not at all. Like, I do agree with you girls. The way you are right now is the way I viewed you. Right. You're all a bunch of sweet people, that's for sure. Sweet people with a lot of baggage behind. Rika, you are a very special case too, but it doesn't change the fact that I admire you deeply too.
変えないでしょ？私は私。いつものように楽しくふざけ合える関係は何も変わらないでしょ？
I mean, to continue on that topic, since I brought up Rika specifically, you would feel awkward if I ended it just there, but you know, Rika has gone through so many of these timelines. 100 years, if that is in a literal sense, Rika is still doing something. I'm not gonna pretend that I'll probably ever understand, I'll probably ever understand the inner machinations of Ben Castell's mind after all these years. But nonetheless, she went out of her way to meet with Rena and give her that syringe. Even after all these years, she's doing something. In the hopes that something different is gonna happen. Otherwise, she would stay like every single day in her own house and drinking alcohol. Which she still does, but yet here's Ben Castell just coming to Rena last night and doing something with that syringe even after 100 years. We all are going through your lives, trying to live a happy life, even with all the fucked up stuff that happened in the past. You all, and Rena too. So, yeah.
それが仲間ってもんだもん。
What's going on? Miona is trying to cheer me with an encouraging smile on her face, but the expression became distorted all of a sudden. Big teardrops fell from my eyes. Why am I crying?
先に言っとく。俺はサトシのことは何も知らない。みんなが隠してたからな。
隠してたってわけじゃ。
毎年起こる事件のこと隠してたろ。
それはケイちゃんを
怖がらせたくなかったってのか。それが理由で俺だけのけ者かよ。
いや、そんなつもりじゃ。
Mion didn't know what to say. She had tears in her eyes. She thought she did me a favor. She didn't know why it turned out like this. She didn't want to make me scared of the village, since I just moved here. What more reason does she need?
ミオンに直にダム現場で事件がなかったかって聞いたよな。ミオンはないって言ったじゃないか。
Holy fucking shit. This is chapter 1. Back when Keiichi was learning about Satoshi. He was mad at the girls about Satoshi and not telling him about Satoshi, in similar fashion to how Rena was mad at Keiichi for not telling her, like, the secret.
バラバラ殺人があったのによ。
Keiichi was like Rena at some point in the past.
嘘つき野郎。
ごめん。嘘ってわけじゃ。
仲間ってのは隠し事なんかなしだろ。そうだろ。じゃあお前らは仲間じゃない。
Yeah, there it is. Wait a minute. Is Keiichi remembering this? What are friends? What are friends? What were friends to me? They were my true friends. They really cared about me. They were so nice to me and helped me feel at home in this village. I couldn't have been happier. Everything was great, wasn't it?
ケイちゃん、そんなのって。
Mion seemed like she didn't know what to say. Her eyes looked moist. It was hard to believe she was really acting like this. It wasn't like Mion at all. I could feel her pain. She was in pain because she didn't know what I was blaming her for. She looked so sad, but I didn't notice her pain. Thought I was her friend. I didn't understand her feelings. I didn't trust her. I just used the word friends, but I didn't do anything like what friends were supposed to do.
そうだった。俺はクズだったんだ。ミオンはミオンだったんだ。俺の最高の仲間だったんじゃないか。どうしてミオンを疑っちまったんだ。どうして。
ケイちゃんさ、最近元気ないよね。
都会から引っ越してきたんだもん。 きっと今頃になって疲れが出てきたんだよ。それで風邪をひいたんじゃないかな。
そっかそっか。じゃあ栄養をつけさせてあげないとね。バッチャが今日おはぎを作ってるんだよ。いくつか分けてもらってケイちゃんへのお見舞いにでもしてあげるか。
こんなみよ、手を洗んとね。おいや、レナちゃん、一つやってるんかい？
へえ、おはぎ作りって面白そうですね。レナも一つだけ作らせてもらおうかな。よいしょ、よいしょ。
そうだそうだ、いいこと思いついたよ。
なに、みーちゃん。あ、その小瓶何かな？
甘いおはぎだけじゃ退屈しちゃうだろうからね。うち一つにはクリティカルヒットでタバスコを混ぜておいてあげよう。
That's right. That's what happened. They brought Ohagi for me to help me get better. They only tried to cheer me up. Why did I get so scared of them? Wait a minute. Are they talking about the food that Keiichi was given in the first chapter? Hot sauce. Oh man, remember when I was theorizing for the first chapter that maybe the needle was not there? That it was a part of Keiichi's delusional mind or whatever that made him think that there was some needle when actually there was nothing there? Maybe the substitute for that was hot sauce. It truly was like a harmless prank. It was the sauce that made Keiichi's neck and mouth feel weird. It's just that Keiichi at that time interpreted as finding like a needle, just throwing it away, and never to find it again. Jesus Christ. Just because Mio knew I had lunch at Angel Mart, I grew terrified of her.
ケイチくん、顔色悪いよ。もう横になった方がいいと思うな。
そうだね。私たちはもう帰ろう。
And they just wanted to cheer me up with a joke. But because I looked so serious,
じゃあね、ケイちゃん。
please get better soon. I hope we can hang out in a club together tomorrow. That was a normal way of saying goodbye.
明日学校休んじゃ嫌だよ。
First of all, have I ever visited any of my classmates who were absent with a cold? No, I haven't. I've never done such a nice thing to anybody, because it's too much of a bother. But they did that for me. I understand visiting a friend in a hospital, but I just caught a cold. But they came to visit me with Ohagi so that I could get better soon. I should have been thankful to them and said, I'll get better soon, and I'm sure I can come to school tomorrow. So I'll see you then. That was what I was supposed to say. But what did I do instead? I locked the door. Closed the door and locked it up as if rejecting them. What was I so scared of? What was I so afraid of? I didn't say any words of appreciation to my friends who cared about me. I'm just so scared of the Ohagi they brought for me. What was I thinking? It was impossible that there was a needle in one of them. And there wasn't actually a needle at all. It was all in my head. Because I read some manga about someone putting needles or razor blades in people's food. It scared me so much that I believe it could also happen to me for some reason. And I thought there was a needle in the Ohagi. You're so stupid, Keiichi. Why would your friends put a needle in food they only brought to make you get better? It was crazy to think like that. Even if there was a needle in one of them, I should have thought that it was some kind of mistake. I should have believed in my friend's innocence. That's what a true friend would do. But what did I do? Pound, splatter, smash. I threw the ohagi that I spent so much effort making on the floor. Why? Why did I do that? Keiichi, you were in similar fashion to Rena, like right now. You were learning so many of these weird things going on in Hinamizawa from Takano and Oishi that it truly made you go complete bonkers, seeing things that are not there. Now, again, I do think that there is also because of some parasite, some disease, but nonetheless, the true you, like, it shouldn't have been that way. Or I guess we could go for a more emotional explanation for this that I probably have not thought of. Well, yeah, I have not thought of and have never mentioned before in a metaphorical sense that the source of, like, the source of these weird visions and paranoia and, like, this effects that a parasite is dealing on these kids. It comes from anxiety and stress and all that, yeah. But maybe more specifically in mistrust. The more the friendship breaks in your mind, the more chaotic your mind is gonna be. That's how things are in most cases, really. With how Keiichi was in the first chapters and Shion and Rena right now. Like, the paranoia and the chaotic mind that these kids have are correlated to a break in friendship as well, in mistrust. Like, in all these cases. So, yeah. I moved to Hinamizawa, and I made friends for the first time in my life. They were my best friends. Meeting them was the most wonderful experience of my life. I'll probably never have another one like that for the rest of my days. I knew that, but I got scared, and I doubted them. They noticed that I was acting odd. That's why they called the manager Irie. They thought a sedative might help me relax, so I could rest and get better. That's why they carried me up to my room. Mion just wanted to make it fun. She's the kind of person who expresses her goodwill by making a joke out of it. I knew that better than anybody. She knew Irie would roll up my shirt to check my heartbeat with a stethoscope. So she was just trying to draw graffiti on my shirt, just like she did to Tomitake-san as punishment for the game he lost. Yes, that's why Mion took a felt marker out of her pocket. Felt marker. She pulled a marker from home because she just wanted to do something funny. She tried to cheer me up by making me take a punishment for fun, rather than nursing me, because that's just what Mion is like. She went to the trouble of bringing a felt marker to my house, just because she wanted to cheer me up. Rena held me down tightly, and Mion came close to me to write something on my shirt. Holy fucking shit. So that was not a syringe like at all. It was just a marker. Well, I guess this basically confirms that some of the things that Keiichi has seen in the past, and some other characters no doubt, some of the things that Keiichi has seen in the past were all in his mind, and it was something else, realistically. In this case, there was no syringe. It was just a marker. like that moment when Keiichi was struggling. He was being pinned down. He was being held tightly right there. It wasn't because he was getting attacked. It was because Rena was keeping him tight there so that he wouldn't run away from the marker. Huh. Mion whispered the words she was going to write on my shirt. I heard them. I heard them clearly. I heard what she was going to write on my shirt. I hope you get well soon, Mion. You know, it just occurs to me. Remember when I was talking about how this chapter was going to be a retelling of chapter 3, because the whole Teppei thing, like coming back, like once Rena would die, Teppei would come back and abuse Satoko and yada yada yada. No. In a way, even if the events of this chapter are drastically different from chapter 1, this is a retelling of chapter 1. In a bit of an opposite way around. Rena is the Keiichi in this chapter. And meanwhile we get to see like Keiichi's past mistakes, and this chapter is more of like a redemption arc for Keiichi for what happened in chapter 1. And to help Rena not go through the same thing that he has. I heard them. Then why? I should have known she wasn't going to do anything to hurt me. Then why? Why? Why did the marker look like a syringe to me? Why did I think that Mion was going to kill me? It was impossible. It was impossible. Why? Why did I misunderstand that Mion was going to kill me? The numbness in my head receded, and slowly I felt blood start to run through my entire body again. How long was I squatting down there? For a few minutes? Or a lot longer than that? As I looked up at the clock, the hands were moving at all, as if they had stopped while I had my eyes closed. Wait. Would that imply that... Well, now I'm starting to question if there was even like a white van with men in suits to begin with. Could this mean that the conspiracy that I have been thinking of until now was just nothing? I have been theorizing about governments and weird plots going on in similar fashion to Rena. In actuality, it was none of that. Maybe. I'm not gonna throw it out the window, but if the story ends and it has nothing to do with any secret organization and all that, then no, I'm not gonna be mad about it. It's gonna be a funny story to tell when I get old. That, oh yeah, there was this one weird murder mystery case that I had to deal with in the past, where I did believe in conspiracy and the government being a part of it. I was a conspiracy nutcase at some point. The atmosphere in the room was filled with insanity like it was earlier, but it was quiet and grey. Rena wasn't holding me down. Mion wasn't about to give me an injection. Was all that just some kind of illusion? There was no sense of presence other than myself in that room. It was an extraordinary experience, the kind I'd never had before. I was there, with Rena and Mion. I doubted my sanity for a moment, but at the same time, I felt some kind of relief too. This scary incident was just an illusion after all. Neither Rena nor Mion would have done such a terrible thing to me. Tears started forming in my eyes. My emotions were running high. Why? It wasn't a question of why tears were forming in my eyes. Why? It was a question of my sadness. Why did I feel so sad? I don't know. I don't know. You don't know? What do you mean you don't know? You do know! So stupid. What the hell was I doing? So pathetic and helpless. Mion just tried to cheer me up. That was all. I liked her so much. She was my best friend. She was older than me, but she hung out with me like we were the same age. She was the first one who came to talk to me in class. She was so nice to me. But Mion was lying down in a natural position near the window. She was covered in dusky red blood from her head to her chest. The red fluid splattered on the wall was Mion's. What had I done? What had I done? I would never forgive myself.
俺、みんなのこと、本当に友達だと思ってたんだぜ。
Why did I let all this happen? There was nothing fun in my life at my old school. When I talked to anyone, it was only ever about my chances of passing the entrance exam of the schools we wanted to go to. My life was shaded in gray. Friends to me were rivals and enemies to vie with for our school recommendation and test scores. My friends here taught me just how unnatural that was. This whole month was a blast. We raised the roof over lunch, our club activities, and the festival. A warm liquid flowed out from my eyes. To my surprise, it was my tears. I didn't have any obligation to cry for them, but I couldn't stop it. Even though they attempted to kill me, even though they almost killed me, I couldn't forget the memories we've made during the past month. Or were those fun days fake? Was it an act that they kept playing perfectly to set me up until today? Was it only me who believed that they were my friends? Not at all. It couldn't be. Rena and Mion, they were my friends for real. Those happy days couldn't have been just a performance. Rena and Mion must have been forced by somebody to kill me. Or that an extraordinary existence called Oyashiro-sama possessed them and took over their consciousness. No matter what it was, both Rena and Mion were my best friends. Kinda reminds me of that one time in chapter 2 and 5, and I guess in that sense that Keiichi would rather believe that Mion was possessed by demon, like in his last moments of torture. I was stupid. I was such a fool. Such a fool. Such a fool. Such a fool. I wasn't making any sense at all. I killed my best friends. They were my best friends. Then why didn't I trust them? Why didn't I listen to them? I beat them to death. Who did I think I was? It sounded like I didn't do anything wrong. Felt like everybody went crazy except me. Such a fool. It was the other way around. Of course it was. I was the only one who went crazy.
ケイちゃん？
俺は、なんてことをしてしまったんだよ。なんてこと。
Mion was still alive. I have a memory of beating her to death because I couldn't trust her. But that's a memory from a non-existent different world. But even though it happened in a different world, I killed Mion. And I didn't realize how deep that sin was. I even thought until now that Mion was at fault for being killed.
どうしたんですのケイイチさん。
わかんない。ケイちゃん、落ち着いて落ち着いて。私は生きてるよ。ケイちゃんになんか殴り殺されてたまるかっての。 ねえ。
そうですわよ。圭一さんごときに遅れを取るようなのは我が部にはおりませんでしたよ。
違うんだ。違うんだ。
Mion and Satoko looked confused, having no idea why I was crying. But I couldn't help myself. I learned just now that I could earn redemption by confessing my sin. But I could never earn redemption for this. Not from Mion. Notice that Rika is not there. Like, near Keiichi, Satoko, and Mion. She is definitely thinking of something right over here. She knows what Keiichi is going through here. No matter how much I cried in this world, nobody could give me forgiveness. Now the question is this something new to Rika? The idea that Keiichi will remember other timelines in a similar fashion to... Huh. And so, I could never earn redemption for the sin. Right then, Chie-sensei came in and noticed me crying. You don't see a teenage boy crying like that very often. Chie-sensei asked me what was going on, but at that moment I couldn't hear anything. Mion and Satoko looked confused. They didn't know how to explain the situation. Rika-chan approached me in the midst of my sobs. Oh.
圭一は覚えているのですか？レナとミーを殺したことを。
そうだ。俺が殺したんだ。殺したんだ。なのに俺は何の罪も認めずに、まるで自分は被害者のつもりで、死ぬ最後の瞬間まで仲間を呪って恨んで、血がいっぱい出て、そして結局何の後悔もなく一人で勝手に死んだ。
I clawed at my itchy throat in a phone booth. I didn't notice my sin, and I died alone.
圭一、あなたの罪に気づきましたのですか？
気づいた。こんなにも今頃になって俺は気づいたよ。思い出したんだ。ここじゃない別のよく似た世界で俺はなぜか仲間たちに疑心暗鬼を持って殺してしまったんだ。仲間たちは俺に救いの言葉をかけていたはずなんだ。なぜそれに耳を傾けられなかった？どうしてだよ。
I didn't care if people were staring. I just kept crying. I wanted to transmute my sin to tears in order to squeeze it out of me. But the tears that were coming out from my eyes weren't my sin. They're just tears of regret for doing something irreversible. At that time, I felt something touching my head. I opened my eyes and saw Rika-chan patting my head gently. I didn't need any comfort. I didn't deserve any comfort from Rika-chan. But the words she spoke to me weren't ones of comfort.
圭一を許しましょう。圭一は自分で自分の罪に気づきましたのです。それはとても偉くて普通ではありえないことなのです。だから誰も圭一の偉さがわからなくて、それを許してあげることはできませんのです。でも僕にはそれを許すことができます。僕には圭一の凄さがわかるのです。
Oh, I'm sure you do.
リカちゃん。
私はこれが奇跡であることがわかる。
I guess if we were to think of it in a metaphorical sense, would that imply that because Rika sees like the past timelines and remembers like every single little thing, and she turned out the way she is into Ben Castel, is because she has remembered a lot of sins that she has done?
だってこれはありえないことなのだもの。あなたが別の自分の罪に気づくなんて絶対にありえないこと。なのにあなたはそれに気づけた。それはきっとこの地上に具現するどんな奇跡すらも霞むほどのもので、信じられないくらいに尊いもの。
I didn't understand anything Rika-chan was saying, but I feel like she's the only one who understood that impossible memory I had. Oh, you betcha. Now, here's the thing. Would this be like the difference between Keiichi and Rika, in the sense that obviously it seems that whatever is happening to Keiichi has happened to Rika, for sure. It's just that the big difference is that Keiichi is in the early stage of time loop, and the fact that Keiichi noticed it like after 5 timelines, let's say, is a miracle and something that can be fixed, since Keiichi remembered and has seen his sin like this early on, so it can be something that can be fixed. For Rika, her noticing that the sin that she committed was too late, because at the time when she remembered her sin and all these memories have started to flood into her of all the timelines, it was already too late, and she can't do anything about it, because that's like past 5,000 timelines at this point, who knows. By the time she finally recognized the sin, she finally started to see like the many timelines where she had committed said sin, and to her, it feels like it is too late for her to do anything at this point.
なら今のあなたにならわかるはず。リュウグウレナがどういうことになっているのか。
ああ、わかるぜ。あの時の俺と同じなんだ。仲間のことを信じたくてしょうがないのに、信じられないんだ。どんどん自分がおかしくなっていくのに、そいつがわからなくて世界の方がおかしくなったって信じてやがるんだ。どうすりゃ救えるかなんてわからねえよ。わからないんだ。だって俺はダメだった。結局死ぬまで、いや死んでも気づけなかったんだ。それをレナに気づかせるなってどうやって。救えないよ、救えない。俺がそうだったからよくわかるんだ。どうやったってもう救えないんだ。
Calm down, Keiichi. I did fail, but that didn't mean Rena would too. There was no excuse not to save her because I thought she'd fail. After all, what did Rena do back then? It's totally going mad, but she risked her life to save me. In my room, in that world, I had beaten her many times with a metal bat. But she was smiling. She knew I was scared, and that's why she smiled for me. I beat her so many times. Her arms were broken, and her forehead was cut open. I remembered that when I didn't block her head, even at the very last moment, she opened her arms towards me, like she was looking for a hug. But I still doubted her and raised the metal bat up high. Rena told me then that it was okay.
私を信じて。
My friend still told me to believe in her. She told me to trust her. But I still didn't. I lost it and attacked her. She was in danger. She was actually killed. But she didn't even block her head. Instead, she used her arms to reach out for me. When I continued to say those words until the moment she died. Trust me. Please, trust me. She risked her life to save me. Until her very last moments, she kept telling me to believe in her. But I didn't listen. For so long, I truly believed that I didn't do anything wrong.
リカちゃんに許してもらえて、少し心が軽くなった。でも、やっぱり俺の罪は、同じ形で滅ぼさなきゃならないんだ。レナの目は、俺が覚ます。
When I risked her life to save me, she cared about me until her very last moments. She trusted me. She believed that her words would reach my heart, so she kept saying them, until I cracked her skull. I don't care if I die. When I died for me, I can die for her too. I'm such a fool for failing to understand my friend's feelings. That's why I didn't understand what she was saying. But Rena might be different.
この世界はもう狂っちまった。でも、だからといって諦めていいなんてことはねえんだよな。諦めるってことは信じないってことだ。俺はレナを、仲間の絆を信じるぜ。だからまだ間に合うんだ。惨劇は回避できる。運命には抗える。俺たちはあがく。そして掴めるんだ。その先の未来って。
Rika-chan nodded with a serious look on her face, and she put her hand in the pocket of her skirt.
圭一、私も諦めない。
Damn right.
この世界から希望を失ってたまるものか。私は数えきれない失敗に疲れ果ててた。だから世界が狂い出すことに諦めを感じるようになってた。だからもうレナがどうなろうと知ったことではないと昨べ思った。でもそれは間違いだった。
That is all I want to hear. Now you bring that syringe and let's go and save Rena.
戦おうとする意志がこんなにも美しく神々しくて、そして運命すらねじ曲げかねない奇跡が起こせることを知った。だから私はあなたと共に戦おう。
Damn right.
もう一度戦おう。何度でも戦おう。その先の未来に至れるまで何度でも。リカとケイチさんが何の話をしてるのかさっぱりわかりませんでしたよ。
Of course you don't.
覚えていないのは当然なのです。ケイチがすごいだけなのですよ。
You know, it just occurs to me that, like, after all this talk and, you know, I keep talking about Ben Castell and all that, but, and I'm speaking from experience yet again right over here, but I wonder about Satoko though.
私の高尚な脳みそではさっぱりでしたよ。
Rika-chan touched Satoko's forehead to hers.
でもいつかは思い出してあげてください。あなたが抗えぬ不幸の袋小路に囚われた時、ケイチはあなたを救おうと 全身全霊をかけて戦ってくれたこと。
Damn right.
圭一さんがですの？
And maybe you'll remember that too one day.
眉唾でございますわよ。ね、圭一。
Rika-chan looked at me, smiling as if waiting for my agreement. I wasn't sure if I could risk my life for Satoko. No. I was sure I'd risk my life for her. Satoko is my friend. If anybody tried to make her unhappy, I'd beat them without hesitation. I'd risk my life to save her. Once again, that is very much true. There is evidence to that. There might even have been a role like that. I nodded to Rika-chan. Rika-chan nodded back to me, looking happy.
前原くん、何かありましたか？
Chie-sensei realized that I finally calmed down, and she asked me that.
いえ、なんでもないんです。騒がせてすみませんでした。それより、ミオ。
何？
I walked towards her. Mion stepped back, not knowing what's going on. She bumped into the blackboard.
何、ケイちゃん。マジな顔でどうしたの？
I held Mion tightly. She still didn't know what was going on, and her face turned red. Crying on her shoulder, I told her the following.
すまなかった。本当にすまなかった。
何がよ、ケイちゃん。おじさん、本当に何のことかわかんないよ。
わかんなくてもいい。わかんなくてもいい。わかんなくてもいいから。聞いてくれ。本当にすまなかった。うまかったぜ。本当にうまかった。元気が出た。だから、俺、明日からちゃんと学校に通えるから、また明日も、学校で会おうなって、それが、言えなくて。今日まで、感謝の言葉が遅れて、本当にすまなかった。俺はミオンを、いや、仲間を誰だろうと、二度と疑わない。二度とだ。絶対にだ。だからミオン、あの日の俺をどうか許してくれ。
Mion must have no idea what I was talking about. Of course, I didn't either. I didn't understand what I was talking about. But my sin wasn't forgiven yet. I needed to confess my sin in order to receive her forgiveness.
ミオンが命を懸けてくれたことを俺は知ってる。だからいつかミオンに何かの不幸が訪れたら、俺は絶対に命を懸けて助けるからな。絶対だ。約束する。
ケイちゃん？照れるな。
Mion's face was bright red. She didn't know what was going on. Satoko was blushing too, with a confused look on her face. But Rika-chan and I understood everything. We weren't going to accept the tragedy. We couldn't give up just because the world was going out of order. We were going to fight against fate to the very last moment. Mion fought for me. Rena fought for me. That's why I was going to fight for Rena. Just like she did for me. I was going to risk my life to save her. Whew. The summit was being held at a traditional Japanese restaurant in Shishibane City.